Me, Sarah. Today we're going to make fairy garden. So in your kit, you should have a pot, and it's not painted. I already painted mine, but you can paint yours if you want to. You'll have some soil and some little fairy garden decorations, like a door, some flowers, rocks, little let's see, ladybugs and mushrooms and things like that. Okay, and you'll also have, let's see, a little seed packet of seeds and these seed starters and these little tiny pots. And we'll get to those in a minute. But anyways, I wanted to start by saying that you have a lot of freedom to make this however you want. So you can flip your pot upside down and maybe like hot glue your door and put it outside and maybe make your little garden next to it. You can fill your pot with soil and build your garden on top. Yeah, you have lots of options. You don't even actually have to use the pot if you don't want to. If you want to put the little door up to a tree and kind of make a little fairy garden next to that, that's an option too. So if you're going to do, like I'm going to do for the video, and build it inside of your pot, get a plate or a piece of cardboard or something, because when you pour the soil into your pot, it has a hole at the bottom, and you don't want it to get all over the place. So we'll set that there. And I actually found some rocks in my yard, and you can choose to do this or not, but I like to put rocks in the bottom of my pots before I put my soil in. That helps if I plan on planting my seeds in there and I water them every day. It helps the water to drain out. So if you want to find rocks to put in, you can. If you don't have any rocks around, don't worry about it. And then I'm just going to pour my soil in. I want to get it pretty much all the way to the top and kind of push it down a bit. See how messy that can be? Well, okay. So now I've got my soil, and I think I will choose to, you can paint your door also. So if you choose to use the door, because you can use whatever you want, and if you choose not to use the stuff, maybe you have extras for another fairy garden you plan to make in the future. But I would probably put my door here, I paint it, and maybe like hot glue it so it stays securely on. And then I know that I'm going to want to plant my seeds in here eventually. And so I am going to use these little seed starters that come with it. And what you need to do with these is pour some water, put them in a dish and pour some water in, and they will expand. So I'm going to do that now so that while I'm setting up my little rooftop fairy garden, they can be expanding. And then I'll be ready to put the seeds in, and then I'll probably bury them somewhere in here where I decide I want plants to grow. So what I really was excited about when I saw these little rocks and these little blue stones was I wanted to make a pond at the top of mine. So I'm going to do that, and you can do yours however you want. These can be stepping stones, or you can maybe glue them together and make a little house or a little playhouse for your fairy. You can use them however you want. You could make little rock stacks, miniature rock stacks. So I'm going to just choose my little ones, and I'm going to kind of outline my pond, and I'll lift my camera up in a minute so you can see it. And you have so much freedom to make it however you want, because it's all up to what your fairy likes to do. Okay. Make a little spot. I'm going to kind of take some of the soil out of the center here and put my blue stones in, because it looks, maybe it'll look kind of like water, I think. I'm hoping. Maybe I'll put a few more stones like this. Oh, it looks like sparkly water. Okay. So that's what I wanted to do with mine, make a little pond, and then I'll probably stick some of my fake flowers around here just to make it look really like a nice garden. A nice little rooftop garden for my fairy. And of course you can use any supplies you have at home too that you want to add in. Let's see, I'll put this right here. I get a couple little ladybugs. I kind of want my ladybugs to be like crawling on the edge. That. They're sticky on the bottom. And then maybe I'll use some of my kind of woody material to kind of place around in my garden. Oh, that could be like a little seat. Has some more flowers around it. And there we go. Okay, and then I want to leave space because I still want to plant. I have arugula seeds. I think some of the packets are different, so you might not have arugula, you might have something else. But I want to take these out. I'm just going to set them in here for, oh, that has a hole also. Well, I'm going to set it on top. You can set it inside. You can even get more soil and plant them inside and wait until they grow, and then you can transplant them into your fairy garden. Or you can just have the seeds separate or somewhere if you don't want to put them into your garden. Okay, so I'm going to take, these seeds are so little, and usually with seeds, if they're really tiny, you want to plant them closer to the surface of the soil because otherwise they won't get enough sunlight to grow. If the seeds are bigger, you would plant them deeper, because then that protects them more and gives them more access to the soil. Okay, so I put some in here, and then I'll probably just make a hole in here that's as deep as the little seed starter. And then I'll take some of my soil and kind of surround it so you don't really see it, but you'll see when the plants start sprouting. You'll have a nice little garden here. Okay. Get a few more seeds. And you'll have extra seeds too, so you can plant them in other places, or if you have another pot at home. I kind of don't want them right next to each other. Maybe I'm going to move this over here and plant one back here. Set some of my soil aside. Don't need that much. Okay. And get it and cover it up so it's kind of hidden. Okay. And remember, if you choose to paint your pot, you're going to want to do that before you put the soil in. And you're going to want to let it dry completely before you start making your fairy garden. And the cool thing about this is you can always add as you go, or like whenever you get a great idea or want to add something to your fairy garden, it's there and you can add whatever you want.